Hello and welcome to the Final Fantasy VII Boss Battle playthrough. I'm Tim.
And I'm Chris.
And this video is going to be Disc 1 Part 1. So we're going to do it in two parts, so you can check the description for the other videos. So the first boss battle is the Scorpion Guard, which is right at the beginning of the game when you go into the first reactor. So the good tips on this boss is to use lightning attacks, because it's a robot, so robots are weak against lightning. God, I only take up 35 there.
Yeah, at this stage in the game we don't have many abilities.
Obviously magic points very low, 43. It's right at the start of the game, first boss fight. We're going to be watching through all the boss fights throughout the game, which we've extracted from the playthrough videos. So if you watch the playthrough videos, you'll see the scenes lead up to a boss fight and then carry on. So we've broken them into two, so you can check those videos on the YouTube channel.
And also our character names are completely different
yes.
to the normal.
If you played through the game, you'll notice you might know why Cloud is called Zack and Barrett is called Dine. But if you don't, you want to check the playthrough videos. And we'll talk about that in more detail. Again, the limit breaks are probably what's going to do most amount of damage in these early fights. I think in the later fights the limit breaks are more of a bonus, but in these early fights they're really essential.
I think Dine's got no magic at all. Zack has just like ice and bolt.
This is before you've even got the option to assign materia. So it's right before you have they've got a limit break there for Zack. At this point you don't have the option to play around with materia yet. It throws you into the deep end this game a bit really. Just gets you straight up into fighting and then does the tutorial later. Which I quite like actually, I do like that of the game. Right, so this bit, the camera pans round, he's ready to counter-attack with his tail laser, which is what Dine is telling Zack there. He says attack while its tail's up, it's going to counter-attack with its laser. What he really should say is don't attack while its tail's up. He is going to counter-attack with his laser, is what I think they meant. So if you shoot him or hit him with a sword during this sequence, he'll counter-attack with a huge laser, which will do quite high damage. So at this point, heal if you need to, or just defend. I don't think we really bothered doing much healing at all because the fight's relatively short. So just wait until the camera pans back down and then you can carry on hitting him. Shouldn't be too much longer now until we kill this one. It's quite a cool looking boss actually, the Scorpion Guard. It's pretty cool. I would have expected actually to see more of these later on in the game as like normal enemies. Like because by the time you go to like the second reactor, you could have like loads of these as like normal enemies. Because by then you could defeat them in a couple of hits.
Yeah, I'd want like a whole like kind of group of them as one battle. That'd be cool.
So you start off near the beginning of the games and you're fighting Shinra. You get this guy and you get the Airbuster. I suppose the next thing you get is the Proud Clod. That's called at the end. There we go, and he's down.
Yeah.
Cool, well, good first battle. Let's move on to battle 2. Okay, here we are in the next battle. And we are fighting the Airbuster, another Shinra robot, at the second reactor mission. Again, lightning attacks work best here, and he actually takes more damage from behind if you hit him in the back. And limit breaks are going to be very useful as well. There we go, look here you have bolt from behind, 72, that's not too bad. Then of course he counter attacks as well.
I think at this point was the time where we should have probably healed.
Yes, it's going to be a bit painful to watch sometimes because we're obviously watching back from when we played, so if we made any bad decisions, you're going to be cringing. But we obviously survived this fight because we're watching back now. We won't be showing you
the failed attempts.
Yeah. I really like that limit break actually. It's the death blow move he does later, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course, Zack, or Cloud as he's normally known, is going to be one of the characters you will always get before his limit breaks on because he's the main character. The other characters we did go through limit breaks. There is a limit break guide on the YouTube channel as well if you want to check that out, showing you how to get the limit breaks and then also an explanation about what they do and what they're good for. A big attack there. That gives Ares a limit break. may notice we've swapped the names of Ares and Tifa around. So for anyone who wants to know how to keep Ares alive, you just rename Tifa Ares. That's how you do it.
Spoilers.
Oh, she's doing curing rather than limit break. I'm quite concerned at this point.
No, we're not going to beat the second boss. Just heal everyone.
I actually think these battles earlier on are a bit more tense because you're dealing with such smaller numbers. I suppose the scale does continue to go up, doesn't it? So you all get like, you know, the enemies will take off 2,000 rather than 200. But oh, I think that's done it.
Oh.
For some reason this guy doesn't do the he doesn't do the red flash because there's a little sequence afterwards.
Oh,
you
of
see
course.
him blow
Right.
up, so.
Yeah, the cutscene, the explosion.
And this next boss is Apps. And this guy's actually weak against fire by this point. He's got fire on his team. Now this is a weird move actually. He does a tsunami and it actually damages himself. Look, that took off 184 of his own health. So it kind of helps with it, but it is a damaging attack to you. Now at this point in the battle we've got both the girls, we've got Tifa and Ares. And Ares, or Tifa as we've called her, sorry this is going to get confusing early on, is going to have the healing wind limit break, which will help keep you alive. It means you don't have to cast Cure as much. So it's always good to keep an eye on her limit break. That should be keeping you alive, making this a much easier fight.
I seem to remember we had Tifa in our group most of the time just as the healer.
Yeah, she's definitely a good healer because her limit breaks are all buffs and healing spells and things like that, which is really useful to have. There you go, she's got her limit break now.
The tsunami didn't take on as much damage as I thought it would.
Again, this is like very early on, so
True.
yeah, there's healing wind. Of course, healing wind doesn't cost any magic points, which is always handy. Do we have fire equipped at this stage? I haven't seen any fire spells on there.
No, not did I.
I think this guy's normally weak against fire. But, then if you have much of a chance to select your magic before you go in, it's straight after the wall market sequence. Yeah, like Mary's has not got any magic on her at all, so I'm wondering whether we didn't equip everything before the fight. Quite a unique limit break set, Mary's has actually. We can stack them all up.
Yeah, I do like that fact. And when you get them at the end, after the ultimate limit break, it's just like a massive chain of moves.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, we haven't gone for Cure and all because Healing Wind is available. Use all spells on different material for offensive.
It's a pretty weird boss. I'm not sure I would be happy to find this in my service.
Yeah, it's pretty monstrous. It's good because the previous two bosses are obviously robots, and now you're fighting some monsters as well. That's something this game's done very well, mixing the technology and all the military and sort of stuff of the Shinra, then with the natural monsters and weapons and all the other stuff that comes in the game. It's a big contrast.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling that we actually beat this guy with his own move. I think he killed himself as human. I think here and there, I think we'll probably have another limit break from each queue again. Which is good. So that's your move. And he came back the other way this time, and that took off less of him. I think that's what it is so when it comes behind him forwards, he takes the brunt of damage, and when it comes from behind us back, we take the brunt of damage. So that's something to look out for. So Healing Spell keeps going, and then another Beat Rush.
Awesome. I think just using Tifa just to keep using Cure to keep your team up is probably the best, and then having the other two only as attackers.
Well, that's another one down. So the next boss fight is for Reno of the Turks.
Oh, awesome. I love Reno, he's one of my favourite characters.
I always liked Reno, I thought he was pretty cool. I always kind of considered him the leader of the Turks, even though it's really saying.
Yeah.
Because he's the first person from the Turks you'll encounter. And although he's part of a team, when you first meet him, it's kind of like seems like, quite a unique character, quite an important part of Shinra. And then it turns out he's part of like a normal unit.
You'll see Reno stunned Ares then with this magical pyramid. The only way to kind of break that stun is just by hitting them, so he used Zack to just hit Ares out of the stun there.
You have to be careful with that as well, because if the whole party gets put in the pyramid lockdown, I missed one. If you get put in the pyramid lockdown, you get game over. It's as if your party's wiped out. When you're in the pyramid, you can't do anything, so you have to use your party members to destroy the pyramid. So unusual that he doesn't use the pyramid move later on when you face him. He only uses it in this sequence, because it's a pretty effective thing to do on us, and he doesn't do it later. In fact, doesn't Rude at some point say that Reno wanted to pay us back, and he's got a new weapon he wants to show us?
Oh.
And then I don't even know what the weapon is. He just fights you normally. He doesn't like bring out some awesome weapon. Again, the ice and lightning magic works pretty well here, taking off some extra damage. And that should give Zack a limit break. Good shot to cure.
No!
Dine is in the pyramid. Can't do it, but you notice his time will stop now.
There's no like cooldown for the pyramid either.
At this point we've got Zack's second limit break, the cross slash. This can occasionally cause stun as well, so I'll actually stop him. Will it stop him on this occasion? No, he's still here. You can see that Dine didn't actually take the damage there, just get through the pyramid. Let's see if we actually hit them both this time. No, again! Gee. You will see the second level limit break at some point in this video, I'm sure. I think this party actually is probably one of my favourite parties to keep throughout the whole game. Because you start off with them, Zack, Ares and Dine, and they'll stay with you throughout the whole game. Right, and he runs off, so you don't get to finish him off. I'm sure we'll
Wise guy.
face him again later. Right, and then the next boss fight you encounter is not until the top of the Shinra building, when you fight a test subject of Hojo's, which is sample HO512. This guy, he can actually resurrect the little drones in front of him, so don't focus on those too much. And it'd be good to use some long range attacks. Now, at this point in the game, Dine is the only person to have the long-range weapon, and he can attack them every round. And he'll bring back the boss will bring back the dead drones if you kill them.
He's also poisoned half our party, which
Yes,
is
he can do poison.
not good.
But this is when you first meet Red 13, or Nanaki, as he is his actual name. So we decided to rename him Nanaki.
From the get-go, yeah.
So I thought if that's his real name, we'll give it to him. And this is where you also get some more materia. I think you get fire magic and enemy skill. Nanaki has with him when you meet him.
Much like the last few bosses, this one's also vulnerable to lightning attacks. Do you reckon it's just a flaw with Shinra?
Yeah, all of the things they create is weak to lightning.
Yeah.
Now, I'm surprised it's weak to lightning really, because you think the organic stuff would be more weak to fire.
Yeah.
But it does suggest weakness to fire. He's only got 1000 HP. If you thought playing around the game, you're just one-shotting. So nice 151. Yeah, those little things don't take off too much damage, you can just ignore them. So you will just keep bringing them back anyway. It's just wasting time. Potion.
Okay, this is probably me controlling. I'm going through like every item available just to get to the second.
I quite like the battle system in this, where it's turn-based, but also there is a time element. So you are kind of a little bit rushed. Like, oh, what do I do now? What shall I do? You can't just wait, and if you wait around choosing, they will just keep hitting you.
Yeah, and you end up missing goes. And
I think it's in Final Fantasy X, where it is just purely turn-based, but your speed stats will affect how often you get to have a go. So like the slow bosses against you, and how fast, you'll get 2 turns before the boss gets a turn, and vice versa.
Oh, okay.
But in this, it is an actual time bar. There's been a few different battle systems in the Final Fantasy games. I think that the one in 7 is probably my favourite. That's too much today. The whole materia system, where you can level up your materia separately to the characters, so then that way you could get a certain character to level up the materia really high, and then if you stop using the character, you could then reassign their materia to someone else. So, and then keep using it. So it's a pretty good system. Still the very early goings here, taking off less than 100 on magic hits is a rarity.
400 left. At this point I'm just going, why aren't you healing?
I definitely think that it was you playing at this time point in the game, because I think I very rarely use sense. Looks like Zach's immune to poison. Yeah, this guy does use poison attacks, so if you've got any anti-poison defences, it's always worth doing.
Isn't there an item that can just cure poison without using a materia?
Yes, there is antidotes and stuff. So quite a creepy face thing, mouth and shoulder.
Yeah, it's like quite Cthulhu-esque.
I think with these scents as well, if you press select, you can get the bar at the top, and it tells you. But once you've sensed it, it will carry on telling you what the HP and MP is.
All the time.
Yeah. So I don't know why we did it twice then.
This is where the first time I really played the game.
Yes.
This is the furthest I'd ever gotten.
I'd played it many times before, but Chris, this is the first real playthrough you've done, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
Oh, and their HO512 is defeated.
So.
Now this is an interesting part. This is going to be the other party. You split up later on. You can see that Zach's not on our team now. It's Tifa, Dyne and Naki. Ares and Zach are elsewhere. And you get 2 bosses back to back. You get the gunner, you get the 100 gunner, then heli gunner. So you get this tank, and then you also get the chopper that's straight after. Now these again, Shinra's weakness is coming through of the weak to lightning. Limit breaks will be really good. And you will need to be long range to be able to reach it. So Dyne's got the long range attack, and Nanaki and Tifa will have to be using magic to hit it. They won't be able to hit it with their normal attacks because it's over on the left.
I really enjoyed this fight. I think this is one of my favourite fights earlier on in the game. Just for that rule, you can't actually go and punch it.
I think this has a powerful attack that it will use later on, so the best thing to do is just to destroy it before it can get that attack off. So you destroy it as quickly as you can, just all out offensive, and then hopefully you can destroy it before it has a chance to use its larger weapons. See, at this point we've got the enemy skill material. We haven't got any enemy skills as of yet, but the first one you get is after you leave Midgar. But you will notice throughout the battles we do use a lot of enemy skills. We've done an enemy skill guide, which is also on the channel, where we show you all the different enemy skills in the game, where to get them from, and what they do. I think because of that we didn't necessarily go for getting the master materia, because a lot of the materials we didn't use because the enemy skills were so powerful. And that one piece of materia with all the different healing types and magic types and multiple enemy hitting. And there's so many different moves on there that we didn't necessarily need so much of the magic materia.
No, I think we just used enemy skill and healing.
And the summons.
True.
The general like ice, fire, lightning, those ones weren't really used as much. Even like the time magic is something I used quite a lot in the first few playthroughs. But because Big Guard included haste, didn't really use it as much in this game. Obviously Nanaki can't hit with a normal attack, but it can hit with its limit break. It doesn't make any sense. But the enemy is dead, so we're pleased with that. So it's been destroyed. And then we've got the heli gunner, so it comes straight down, no waiting. It's weird that they do it one after another. I'm surprised they didn't do like both at the same time. You don't really get any dual bosses in this, do you?
True.
There is a couple. I think there's a boss on Disc 2 that's got 2 heads, and they have separate HPs. And you do get enemies with different parts, like arms, legs, and things split up. This could have been a good opportunity to have 2 monsters at the same time, but maybe they couldn't both fit in the left.
We could have heli gunner flying the other side of the team, so you'd have to have them looking both ways.
Although maybe that would be a bit too difficult at this stage of the game. Looks like T's been put to sleep. Yeah, don't need to worry so much about healing now, because Tifa should be able to do a healing round. Healing round. Ooh, that's pretty close.
Just heal, everything will be fine.
There we go. Nicely done. Okay. See, that's a much higher damage than what my ice was taking. That was 144, fire 61. So you can see the difference in different weaknesses that enemies have. So it's always a good idea to have a think about what they're using, and then use things like elemental materia is really useful as well. If you've got an element mixed with your attack, you're always going to have that element on your attack as well. I think my favourite for that is probably bio, because then you poison as you attack them. That's quite a good setup. So I always used to like having cover, counter, and then bio with elemental. So whenever any enemy attacked, you would cover, take the damage, and counter with a hit that caused poison.
That's really good.
That's always a good setup. I think at this stage of the game there's not really that many setups like that you can do, but you should have elemental, which is always good. Cool, and that's the Hell Gunner down.
Awesome.
And on to the other fight that's happening at the same time as this one. These 2 fights are supposed to be happening at the same time. And this one's up on the roof, and it's Zack having a one-on-one against Rufus. And well, here's an example of 2 bosses at the same time. He does have a companion. So he's got a little break. We're going to take out Rufus's cat thing first, because it causes buffs to Rufus. That's quite powerful magic, so it's good to get rid of it early on. And before you have this fight, you do have a chance to swap the materia over from the team. You should notice that Zack's got a few different things there. Obviously we're going to go for bio. That helps speed things along. And we've already managed to get rid of the cat thing, so it's quite easily done early on.
Yeah.
Just make sure you cure, and if you are struggling, you will get regular limit breaks, because obviously Rufus is always going to be attacking Zack every time. Okay, cross slash. And again, cross slash does occasionally cause stop. So let's see, is he stunned? Yep, he's stunned. And he's poisoned, so this is going to be a nice easy battle now.
Awesome. Did that break through a barrier as well in Rufus?
I think the barrier might be gone now. It's a physical barrier, so magic won't make a difference. Oh, that's it, we've done now anyway, so it's not a particularly difficult fight. I'm a bit disappointed actually you don't fight Rufus again later, because he's a good character, but he doesn't come back. That's the only fight you really have with him. It'd be nice if you fought multiple times, but there you go. And this is just before we leave Midgar now. So this next battle is just after the motorbike minigame, and you get a back attack, so your team will be the wrong way around in terms of the rows they're in, and take a little bit of damage at the start, but it's not too much. And the rest of the fight is quite straightforward. It's just a case of using heavy attacks and trying to keep your team alive.
Yeah.
At this point we've got Ares and Darling with us. And we're just going to go for an all-out offensive really on this one.
That's when I was playing through this, I didn't really expect this guy at all. You can see him on the cutscene, can't you?
Yeah, he chases after you when you're on the bike, and you think it's all part of this cutscene, but it's not. You may see he comes up behind you, so all our rows were wrong, so we have to change around to put Dine in the back row, and Zack and Ares in the front. Hit him with a big shot. Does some odd moves, this guy. He keeps transforming to do different stuff. Twin burners, full damage on everyone. Pretty savage. I don't have anything to steal.
Ah, damn. I always try and steal from mobs or bosses, just in case they've got like that one awesome item.
Stealing is always good in these types of games, because you never know what you're going to get from people. Sometimes you'll get something like really useful. There's a cure on everyone. At this point I think we've got a lot more all materia, so all materia is very useful to use it all the time in this game. It means that whatever magic you've got will be done then on everyone, whether that be positive or negative magic.
Yeah, so you can link cure and all materials together to heal everyone in the party at once.
Okay, hopefully... Oh, you've missed it again, Chris.
Look, it's... yeah.
And there's nothing too specific about this boss really, it's just a case of keep yourself healed, keep hitting it with powerful attacks, and that's about it. Oh, pretty... Whoa, that's pretty powerful. It's taking us down quite a lot. It'll give us some limit breaks to think about. So there, Diamond's got the awful big shot, a move that will damage the enemy's MP, which is entirely pointless. I don't think we've ever used it. It was rubbish. I think it kind of puts you off, Dine, at the beginning. Your second limit break is something that damages their magic, which is none of the other limit breaks do that. But if you stick with him, his later limit breaks do get really good. I think he's probably one of my favourites for limit breaks actually, next to that.
Would you say catastrophes are the best?
Yeah, I think catastrophes are one of my favourites. Really powerful, multiple hits. And even before that, things like the satellite beam and
true, yeah.
Things like that. He's got some really powerful attacks. That, and he can be put in the second row because he's got a long range weapon. He's quite good. A bit low on life there.
And it's just awesome.
And he's done. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so at this point in the game we've left Midgar, now we're in June I think by this point before you get the next boss fight. So it's a bit of a long wait until you get another big boss battle, but it's the Autumn Swell. And you'll notice we now have Yuffie in the party, who we've named Jessie, after the late Jessie, who dies at the beginning of the game. Sad. Big's and Reg, so we thought we'd bring it back. And we also have summons by this point. So here's one of the first summons you get, Chocobo Mog.
Oh, Chocobo Mog. This is awesome.
So this is another enemy where it's long range, so you can only hit it with long range attacks, which is, we've got both Jessie and Dine have long range, and you see Zack hit there with the sideways hit, because he's got the long range materia. So in our current setup, we will actually be able to hit him with all 3 characters, which is really good.
You'll have 2 main abilities. One which stuns one person in our party, which is never good. The other hits the entire party with a water-based attack. About 100 hit points, which is manageable at this stage. But
you can see we're starting to introduce the enemy skills there. I think because we had the 3 long-range characters, this battle was less of a problem. But yes, he does do a bubble, which can keep you trapped. Pretty much works in the same way as the pyramid move that Reno did. I think he's doing it there too, Jessie. There you go, Jessie's on a bubble. And you'll also notice her life now is going down. But you'll also notice the fire and all includes the bubble. So you're able to get rid of it with a normal attack, which is handy. So unlike the pyramid that Reno used, the bubble is a separate targetable item. So you can target the bubble rather than the character.
Match magic, so useful.
It's very good. It's very cheap in terms of magic points, and it attacks everyone. So I think we use magic quite often in this game. So even when you're about midway through the game, it's still a powerful attack.
Yeah.
There's a big wave. Yeah. It doesn't do that much damage actually. So it's only about 54. So it wasn't as high as we thought it would be. Can't reach. Diamond things through there. The bolt and there we go. Does allow me to do both. Good stuff. Bubble. So the bubbles are pretty manageable.
Yeah, as long as you take care of them as soon as they appear, it won't cause you too much hassle. I assume if your whole party gets bubbled, you're out of the match as well.
Yeah, I think they're inactive during that time, so they won't be anything to do. And this is actually one of the enemies you could fight in the battle square, isn't it, later on? When you go to the gold saucer, you can fight all the enemies in the battle square. And this guy's one of them. Still relatively strong actually at that point. Break. Are we going to go for Mind Blow? No. Mind Blow is awful. I'm not going to do that to you. Big wave. I'm sure you must have done Mind Blow at one point just so I could show you.
Yeah.
I can remember when I first played and I got Mind Blow. Got a new limit break and I used it. It said MP. What? Never using that again. Well, the bottom spell is dead. So, the next boss is our first encounter with Genova, who you often encounter throughout the game. We're out on the boat, we've got on the team now Zack, Dine and Nanaki. The 3 girls are off doing something else at this point. We're investigating the bottom of the ship.
Genova Birth has a couple of abilities. You can Stop, which she's just done there on Dine, and she'll also do a tail laser, which does 200 HP to a target.
Good chance to use the summon materials here as well if you've got any. And fire attacks.
I think on this boss we should have just gone straight in with all of our summons and just did as much burst DPS as we could.
See, 135 there from Match Magic is pretty good. You're starting to see the HP and MP creep up now compared to what we started on. See,
Yeah.
he's picking on a Naki there, isn't he? Jeez. Potion there, so.
There's not really any tauntable attacks apart from cover, really. Like attacks that force the enemy to attack your character.
Well, the cover only covers an attack that's already happening.
Mm.
So yeah, there's no way of provoking enemies in this. I think there are provoke style moves in later Final Fantasy games actually. Lunatic Harmony. But I think this does haste on everybody. Increases attack.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think in some games you can do provoke and then they'll only attack that one character. So you can get a character with all the counters and buffs and high defense and then get them to do provoke. I think that's in 13.
Yeah, I seem to remember Snow being able to do it.
I think we're struggling to keep everyone alive at this point, so it's lucky if we do pull off a summon. Get a flamethrower from the enemy skill. And there's Shiva. I think Shiva's been in quite a few Final Fantasy games now. One of those summons that seems to make her way through them. That's with Python. Ooh, 269 defense. I still have the option to chop and log as well. Always trusty. Trusty chop and log.
Is there a chance when casting Chocobo Mock he'll just summon Fat Chocobo?
Yes, I don't know if there's any criteria for when you get Fat Chocobo. I think it's just random. Giant Fat Chocobo can't succeed. I suppose there's not more of that with the other summons, like when you level up the summon to a certain point it does something different. But
Yeah.
it doesn't really have that.
I suppose there's the different helmets, but
They are separate material. Oh, can't stop it. I did like how these summons were done in Final Fantasy X, where you would actually summon the Aeon and then leave the battle and the Aeon would fight in your place. And then the Aeon would get the same sort of turn-based battle against the boss that you would, and have their own limit breaks. And
would you
magic
control
and-
them?
Yeah, you can completely control them. And like a Pokemon style thing, like summon the Aeon, they stay there and fight for you until either you dismiss them or they die, and then your party comes back.
Shiva, I choose you!
Yeah. Really powerful actually. They're major part of the game. They're the main part of the storyline as well. The whole point of the game is getting all the summons. That's always good. I would say 10 is probably my on par with 7 in terms of favourite Final Fantasies. And also it has Blitzball. Blitzball's just awesome. Zack doesn't even flinch. He's stopped.
Oh, good old match magic.
You don't do anything to unstop Zack. Just let him suffer. Oh, he's moving again now. Yeah, we didn't know anything to kill him. Oh, no break. Too high again. Don't know if that really has any additional votes. No, missed on everyone. So let it be known if you've already done Lunatic High, don't do it again.
I think this point we'll just, at least I was going, what I press?
Hurry up and die. As you see there, do you see on the top it tells you what their life is. That's cool, okay. Looks like we've unlocked the next limit break for Zack for this point in the game. He's about to use Blade Beam. Cool. Pretty good. Normally if there's any other enemies it splits off into 2 and hits them as well. So I only saw part of the Blade Beam. Looks like it's got about 600 magic left.
If you have any fire-based attacks, which you should do by this point, they're pretty useful against Genova.
Casting fire the flamethrower from Nike has been pretty effective. It's not too bad. Just got Quake. Zack's got fire. Yes, use fire with Zack. So it should only take a couple more hits now. It's about 300 left. Oh, and Di might be able to finish off with a mind blow. Oh no, already big shot. His mind blow is awful. Smash cut. There we go.
Yeah.
Genova's down. But I'm sure we'll fight Genova again.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, on to the last boss fight of this video. And this is Dine fighting Dine. And Dine is the other guy with a gun arm. So we renamed Barrett Dine in this game because we thought it was funny. So it's like, oh, it wasn't Dine with the guy with the gun in his arm, it was Dine. And it gets really confusing in the text. You can see that when I play through the video. So this fight with Dine versus Dine, you've obviously only got one character, so you can set Dine up well with all the materials you want.
Dine will also use an ability called S-Mine, I believe. Yeah, S-Mine. He'll throw that normally after he's used his normal attack, so essentially doing 2 attacks. So you don't want your health going too low because he can essentially kill you with those double attacks.
Yeah, so you need to keep buffing yourself and curing.
Or summon a demon!
Summon a demon, it's always a good idea. I think the best thing to do is just to hit him with some big attacks and then cure yourself, then hit him with some big attacks, then cure yourself. Try and maintain your MP primarily for healing. There you go, here's the S-Mine. Oh, it missed, that's pretty handy, so we're going straight through the summon. So, Shiva. Obviously you have the benefit of the liver breaks, which will help you out if you really need them.
Enemy Dine's move, I'm going to have to call him Enemy Dine now.
Enemy Dine.
His moves are pretty basic, it's just the needle gun and S-Mine, pretty much. So as long as you're prepared to at least take a couple hits every time.
He also does a move called Molotov Cocktail, which does higher damage. I think he does that when he's near death, so just keep buffing yourself for that. Again, we're just bombarding him with summons really at this point. As you see there, he did his normal attack and then S-Mine straight after. So neither of them overly powerful, but put together, you could get caught off guard if you hadn't been regularly healing.
We need to heal next time.
There's the chocobo log.
Damn, no fat chocobo.
No fat chocobo. So I think we probably need to heal soon, and then by then Dine should have a limit break. And there it is. We've got Bio there as well, so oh, there's his big attack. Oh, lucky. That could have been pretty dangerous. Good thing we're curing when we can. You don't have to be as risky as we've been there. You could have cured sooner. But this should be a good opportunity to do limit break.
Shall we use Mind Blow?
No, don't use Mind Blow. That's bad at it. Right, big shot. This could very well finish him off. No, didn't want to cocktail. I thought he was about to do his I'm hurt animation. Again, there's a little cutscene after this which involves Dine dying. There you go. So you don't actually see him fade to red, much like when Reno runs off and things like that. Okay, well thanks for watching these videos.
Thanks, and I'll see you for part 2.